Hello, welcome to End Gauge Model Railway. I've now received my pre-ordered Revolution Trains Class 59, and since it's come so soon after my video about all the locos I've bought brand new, this one serves as a sort of addendum to that. This is my first Revolution Trains locomotive, and I've seen from other YouTube channels that, as with other manufacturers of British End Gauge locomotives, running quality can be hit or miss. So far, I've barely more than run it in, but I'm pleased to report that it runs excellently. Although I'm always keen to get a new loco running, I do scan the instructions first and comply with any pre-running steps. This one says to run in on DC, and in the DCC fitting section it says to run in on DC before fitting a decoder. But this one is factory DCC sound fitted, so does that mean I still run it on DC, or that I need to remove the decoder? I figured that if I ran it on DC as is, then all of the power would still be going through the decoder. So in terms of running in the mechanisms, that would be no different to running on DCC. I didn't fancy trying to remove the decoder, so I ran it in on DCC. I gave all of the track a good clean before putting the loco onto it. Right from the start, it was very smooth in both directions. I'm no expert on the intricate details of Class 59s, I just see occasional photos and videos of them, and to me, this looks like a Class 59. The handrail detail looks good. In a scale of 1 to 148, details like metal rails are often very overscale. Even wire as thin as half a millimetre equates to about 7.5 centimetres, which is a very chunky handrail. These ones are too thick, but don't stand out as that much overscale. You can easily see good photos of the model's detail on retailer websites, or review sites, so I'm not going to spend ages trying to get good close-up shots. I chose the revised Foster Yeoman livery so that it would match my JHA wagons, so I was very keen to see if this 59 has enough pulling power for a rake of them. The model feels like it's got good weight to it, which bode well. It quite happily pulled my 13 modified JHA wagons out of the sidings and around the relatively tight inner curve of Endor. But as I mentioned in a previous video, I'd ordered an extra 3 JHA wagons, so how would it fare with a rake of 16? First things first, the extra wagons needed magnetic hunt couplings. I had a fair bit of trouble getting the first one into place. I didn't remember this step being hard before. Eventually I realised that the coupling that this one came with had actually arrived snapped, and half of it was still in the NEM socket. Out of 16 wagons this was the only broken coupling I'd had, but I know other people have received JHA wagons with broken couplings. Each wagon also needed to be fixed. Just as with the first 13, these 3 were not quite ready to run. This was no surprise, and I talked about the fixes in detail in videos 18 and 21. Links to those are in the description. I haven't assessed each axle to see if they need reaming, or to check if the brake shoes are clear of the wheels. I'll do that another time. For now, there's enough improvement in free running to try them out with the Class 59. So, off we go with 16 JHA wagons. The sounds here don't match the movement of the loco. Revolution Trains say they've modelled the sounds and behaviour accurately, but that means if you switch the sounds on before getting the loco running, you have to wait 45 seconds for the engine startup sequence before the loco will pull away. They say the way to avoid that is to start moving the loco first, then activate the sounds, but it seems that it still goes through the whole startup audio rather than going straight to normal running sounds. That's not a big deal for me, but it's why the loco sounded odd at the start of this bit of video. As you can see, it's happily hauling the 16 wagons around, which is a good result. Can it take more? When I bought the first 16 JHA wagons last summer, they were at full price, but recently they were quite heavily discounted, so I got 3 more in the original livery to add a bit of variety. I've seen rakes of these running with a mix of liveries in quite a few videos of the real things. So, another round of the easier fixes. None of these had snapped couplings, so that makes only 1 out of 19 for that issue. Now to give it a go. This time I started the sounds first, let it run through what sounded like the startup sequence, and then set it to speed step 4 of 28. No movement. Now step 8 of 28. Still no movement. I started to wonder if 19 JHAs is beyond its limit, but it turns out that it just wasn't ready to go yet. Once it decided it was time to set off, it didn't seem to have any difficulty. It's impressively strong. Most of the time I had it running around at speed step 8 of 28 because I doubt that super heavy stone trains are the fastest of trains, but I put it up to full speed to see what it had left in the tank. I also put it down to speed step 1 of 28. I've shortened the footage here, but it slowly crawled along without stalling at all. I don't know where the limits of the Hunt magnetic couplings are, so I was pleased to see that they too can take the strain of the train. This model isn't perfect, it has stalled on me on the inner loop in 2 places. But overall I think it's awesome. It looks great, sounds great, runs well and can pull a very heavy load. That's everything I'm looking for in a model locomotive. As impressed as I was with the power of the 59, I wanted to see how it compared to my other models of powerful freight locomotives. There's nothing particularly scientific going on here, it's pretty much a case of whether or not a loco can pull the 19 JHA wagons without me perceiving it to be struggling. In summary, my Graham Farish models were all able to pull it without any apparent trouble, which impressed me, while the Dapples very definitely failed. There's a noticeable difference in the weight of those that succeeded versus those that failed. So where my JHA train is concerned, the Revolution train's Class 59 is at least as capable as my Graham Farish locos. It bodes well for the Revolution train's Class 66 models. Until this week I had 3 on pre-order, but if everything that's expected to become available this year does actually materialise, then it makes my 2024 pre-order spending alarmingly high. I've now only got 1 Class 66 on pre-order, but if it turns out to be as good as this 59, then I may well be tempted to trade in one of my Dapples for another Revolution Trains one. That's all for now. Bye bye.